The sound of the 70s. The sound of the 80s. The sound of the 90s. And the sound of today. This is The Sound Of with Steve Black and Anne Carlini.
All right, taking a different tact this week with the trivia challenge. I put together a list of 10 questions. They increase in difficulty. So I'm going to have you pick a number, Anne. I'm going to name a song.
Wait a minute. This is totally not fair because Steve Black is the one who came up with the idea for the segment, and it was about asking him trivia. Now all of a sudden, now you're going to turn the tables?
The purpose of this entire show was for people who like to listen to music talk stuff.
Oh my God.
We're trying to entertain people who enjoy music.
It's not going to be entertaining. Listen
This is
to me
entertaining.
go, I don't know.
Well, then choose the easy ones. I gave you in escalating order 1 to 10, so you can choose 5 of these. If you feel bold and you want to try 10, try a difficult one. If you want to try simple, you go with a 1 or a 2.
All right. All right. Rob, you're going to help me with this?
I got your back. I'm going to be the one to tell you, I don't know.
All right.
So how bold do you feel? 1 to 10.
All right. All right, Alex, I'll take music trivia for 1.
1. Okay, now all of these, I'm just going to name the song and the artist that covered it. You tell me who the original artist was. Who was the original artist? So number 1 is as easy as it gets, Simple Man from Shinedown. Who was the original artist?
All right, Leonard Skinner.
See? Oh, I'm so intimidated by this game.
All right, what's number 2?
Oh, we're going to stay in the easy category. Huh?
It was the Beatles.
Oh,
I thought it was the Beatles.
This is my backup. This is my phone call.
Choose wisely, Ed.
All right, number 2. You want to stay simple? Smoking in the Boys' Room. Motley Crue, of course, covered it. Who was the original?
Brownsville Station.
I agree. I agree. Good answer.
All right.
Pretty easy. All right, pick another number.
All right, let's go for 5.
All right, we're getting a little bit bolder. Alice Cooper did a really cool version of I've Got a Line on You. Who did the original?
Spirit.
See how easy this is? Look at her.
She don't even need me. Doesn't need me at all.
Oh, man.
All right, well, you got 3. Pick 2 more. You can get a little harder or you can stay perfect.
Let's go with number 8.
Number 8. Ooh. Joan Jett did I Love Rock and Roll. Who did the original?
God. Why didn't you ask me about Crimson and Clover?
Because that would have been a 3.
I Love Rock and Roll.
My guess is Alanis Morissette.
No, it's not Alanis Morissette.
I don't know. I'm throwing it out there.
She doesn't even like rock and roll.
In the jukebox, baby.
It makes sense.
I honestly don't know. I didn't even realize it was a cover.
Didn't know it was a cover.
No.
Yep.
Who did it?
The Arrows.
The Arrows.
Yep.
Who are the Arrows? They
were the band that did I Love Rock and Roll.
Oh, shut up.
It wasn't a big hit. Until Joan Jett made it hers.
I bet they send Joan Jett Christmas cards and birthday cards, and thank you for the money.
They probably do. You want to do one more?
Yeah,
only got one wrong.
Let's go to 10.
Go to 10. I love that.
Yeah.
This list should have gone to 11. I didn't think about that at the time.
11.
Soundgarden covered a song called Fopp.
Oh, Steve.
Can you sing it?
What is?
I might know what it is.
What's it? Fopp?
See?
Fopp.
F-O-P-P.
F-O-P-P, and that was a remake. They remade a song called Fopp.
Fopp.
I have never even heard the song.
That's why it's a 10.
That's why.
Exactly.
What? So it's Soundgarden. Is it somebody from Seattle?
I don't believe so. I believe their origin is disclosed in their name, but I'm not positive.
Oh, well, that's no help. I don't even know. I've never even heard the song Fopp.
Can you give us a little
Fopp.
The chorus part? I might know what it is then.
Wait, was this?
Give it up.
Did they record it?
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. What album is it off of?
Screaming Life, I believe. Might have to double check that.
See how I turn
Oh wait,
this?
the Fopp. The album is called Fopp, and the re-release is the combination of the two albums. It's now called Fopp/Screaming Life.
Good luck, Ann.
I don't know. You have to tell me.
The Ohio Players.
Oh, the
That's why he
Ohio
kept looking at me like,
Players.
because I should have known that, right?
It's on the same album as Love Roller Coaster. Fopp.
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
Say what?
I know
Right?
them. I never heard of Fopp before. I'm thinking Bop by like Hanson.
No,
the Hanson
no.
Brothers. So I don't know.
I think it's even more bizarre that Rev and I both know Roller Coaster from the Ohio Players.
Exactly.
That's what I think
Yeah.
is weird.
Same album. The album called Honey. There's a song on there called Fopp, and
Okay.
Soundgarden covered it.
Oh,
I'm
well.
gonna have to go check it out now.
All right, so I did okay, right?
Yeah, you did great. The
What
only
was-
two you missed
what
were
was
number 8 and
number-
number 10.
What was number 9?
9. Jesus is Just All Right from the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, I love that song. Jesus is just all right. I didn't realize it was a remake either.
Yeah, it was an old gospel song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Originally done in, I want to say, 1966 by the Art Reynolds Singers.
Jeez. Oh, now you're way out there. Wow.
Well, that's why we had 1 and 2.
See, you
I
built,
left it to you.
built my confidence up. Then you shot me down. All right. That was fun, though. I enjoyed it.
You know, like I said, as people are listening, some of them are going to say the same thing as you. They're going to say, I didn't know that was a cover, or they're going to go, yes, I know what that band was.
Yeah.
You know? So it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I just beg of you to never, ever quiz me. Because that would probably be the funniest show ever. Because I would not know. I'm telling you, I would not know. Don't come my way with that, please. It has to be like very elementary. That would probably get it.
What's the only song in the history of Rush in which Geddy doesn't play bass?
See?
Oh, for Lord's sake, Steve, now you're just showing off.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do
Fair
I?
enough.
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
No. And I'm a Rush fan. I like Rush. But this is
I was
stuff.
just picking on Rev. That's
This
all.
is stuff that Steve looks for. He lives for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Throw me under the bus, Steve.
Tell me about Eddie Vedder.
Well, one cool thing about Eddie Vedder is that, you know, we all know he's a Chicago Cubs fan. He loves the Cubs.
Huge.
And I think one of the great things that he did was, you know, just jumping in with street performers. I mean, if I was a street performer and Eddie Vedder showed up and grabbed my $100 guitar that sounds like crap and was jamming with me, I would have been pretty stoked. So I thought that was a pretty stellar move on his part.
So he's leaving Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
And he just happens to walk by these buskers, which I always call them street musicians. Now, for some reason, they're calling him buskers.
That's the European name for it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, when I was in Europe in 1987, I heard busking all the time. Constantly heard that term.
It's buskers. Is that what they're calling them?
Yes.
And they're busking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's new to me.
Because we always called them street
performers.
musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Exactly.
because you've never been to the water closet.
Across the pond.
I'm not even going to try to sound like that again. I murdered that at the festival already.
But he just was dressed in like his hat was on backwards, his ball cap, and he had shorts on and tennis shoes. I mean, just looked like a guy passing by. And all of a sudden, he's playing the Pearl Jam song "Corduroy," and he's going to it.
Right.
It's not like he's just strumming it.
Have you seen the video of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, man. And the guy is jamming on the drums, and some people are just walking by going, oh, this guy sounds pretty good. And then somebody had the wherewithal to take out their phone and
yeah,
tape
and
it.
I was like searching to see if like this happens all the time. Like, knowing he's a Cub fan, I'm sure he goes to a lot of games.
He does.
Well, it has happened a second time. He did go back out and do it.
Okay. Yeah, I just figured it probably happened a lot because, you know, he likes to jam and it might be, I'm sure it's not was it the same performer, street performer?
I don't know. I just read that he went back out. It was either the next day or 2 days later. But I'm sure that the tips being thrown into the guitar case probably went up a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Or they
pretty
didn't.
cool on
It's
his part.
like, Eddie Vedder doesn't need my money.
Right.
But this has happened before. The people have caught this on their phones. Steven Tyler.
Yeah, from Aerosmith, definitely has done this at least once. And I want to say he did it twice, too. I think he did it once in the U.S. and once in Europe.
I saw a video of Ed Sheeran joining a girl on stage in the middle of a mall, and she was singing this song. It was like one of those, I don't know if it wasn't a talent contest or just where they bring the kids out and they show off, and I can't for the life of me remember the Ed Sheeran song that made him all that money.
Was it Fopp?
It wasn't Fopp. Who
No,
sings
but I
Stay
hear
With
he's
Me?
thinking about doing a remake of that.
Is that the one who sings like that "Stay With Me" song? It's kind of slower.
Yeah. And the girl was singing it, and he came up behind her and started to sing along, with her. And she kind of turned around and stopped a little bit and then continued to sing. So it became a duet. And that was really something.
Yeah.
That was beautiful
I
to
can just
see.
imagine the blood flowing. That it happened to this kid. He was playing piano, doing a Stevie Wonder cover, and sure enough, Stevie Wonder popped up.
No.
And he was in shock. He stood there for 10 minutes, not saying nothing, just didn't blink not once. Like, is this real? And I was like, man, it's just cool that stars do stuff like this. It shows that they are adapted with their fans. So it's pretty cool about that. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it when they take the time, because I think that these musicians, as they see themselves in these guys who are standing out there in the street corner.
Well, many of them were there once,
Yes, very, very
I
true.
totally picture this being a Corey Taylor thing. If he hasn't done it already, doesn't that seem like a Corey Taylor thing?
Yes, or even Dave Grohl.
Yeah, I could definitely see Dave doing that.
Yeah. So if they're ever out walking around, but so many times now they're not. They're with some type of entourage, or they're in cars being taken to and from. So it's got to be like a rare occurrence. But Rev, you wanted to talk about this Queen movie coming out.
Yeah, I did a little search on that, and it looked like something that I would be interested in. I like to, at least check it out. But it seems that they had a couple cast members that wanted to be a part of this and obviously pull back. And I started searching why they did that stuff, and it was pretty interesting. They said Freddie Mercury had like a wild life, but the band wanted to have a lot of the film focused on them and not just him. So it's like, who would really go watch a movie where the main lead character dies of AIDS and the band bounced back off of that? No one would really probably support that. I don't think they would.
What was the name of the actor who was going to play Freddie originally?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, so Sasha was going to do it, and my understanding is sort of the final decision why he backed away was he wanted the movie basically to be about Freddie Mercury, and the band wants the movie to be about Queen.
Well, Brian May said that he didn't want the movie to be as explicit as Sasha wanted it to be, because Sasha wanted to bring to light the rock star behavior that Freddie exhibited. And that's what his legend was made of. The crazy parties backstage, the midgets, the silver trays of Coke. He led that rock star lifestyle to the nth degree. And Sasha wanted to tell that story. And Brian May said he didn't want that.
Right.
He wanted it. He wanted more of a watered down version, a sugar coated version, if you would, of Freddie Mercury. That's what I heard. But so he definitely wanted control. But I thought that Sacha Baron Cohen as Freddie Mercury would have been
amazing.
Amazing.
And I get it. He's, they want to protect their legacy. I get all that.
But if this stuff really happened, and nobody said that it didn't, they just don't want to highlight it. Right. But if it happened, you don't have to exaggerate on it. His life was an exaggeration anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think more people would have been willing to go see the tragedy and triumph that was Freddie Mercury, as opposed to a movie about Queen that also includes Freddie Mercury.
Well, and especially what you said, Rob, the band is still touring. It's still going on. And then I saw this. I saw something interesting. They're doing this movie shoot with the Live Aid performance. Okay, so they have Rami Malek, who is in a really popular TV show called Mr. Robot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
I understand it's interesting.
And so Rami Malek comes out on stage. They've got all the actors dressed up as Queen, and this was a huge performance for them, and so he's basically doing all the Freddie Mercury moves to a track. So he sits down at the piano, he gets up, he's in the wife beater t-shirt. He looks just like Freddie. The only thing about Rami Malek is he's got those dark circles underneath his eyes that Freddie Mercury did not. But I'll be damned, he does look a lot like Freddie Mercury, all dressed up like that. So of course there were people in the audience because they wanted some people up near the front of the stage, and then they'll just Photoshop the hundreds of thousands that were actually there. So some people leaked some video of them shooting this scene. And Brian May comes out and says, well, the joke's on you. That's not the actual shoot. And I thought, Brian, wake up. This is 2017. It's going to get leaked.
Yeah.
You're going to, and just go with it. This is extra PR for the movie. Yep. It just sounded like, I don't know, like almost like curmudgeon-y, like you didn't get it, that type of thing. But it's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, it will.
If they shoot with extras. But personally, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go see it either way. But again, I think if it was a movie about Freddie and everything that he went through, and it's going to be a tragedy, but it's also going to have all these incredible heights and incredible triumphs, I would go see that because he's one of my favorite all-time performers. But I think I'm going to leave the film a little unsatisfied if I heard that there's still 20-something minutes left after Freddie dies. I mean, that's an awful lot of ground to cover for the current version of Queen, which, I love Brian. He's one of my favorite people in the world, but people were not enamored with post-Freddie Queen. It's there, and we're thankful for it to some degree, but we're not enamored. I mean, we were in love with those four guys together. That special thing that became Queen.
See, I always envisioned the movie ending with Freddie's death, and then how the screen goes black, and then it comes out. Queen is still touring to this day. Blah blah blah, and they do a little follow up
like that, yeah.
And there's tributes to Freddie Mercury here and there. To me, that's how you end it.
Yeah. And again, this is what I read as to why Sasha lost interest in it, because they wanted to do an extra 20 minutes after Freddie passes away. And he was just like, no, that's not what this is about.
Right. The documentary about Freddie Mercury will bring tears to your eyes. Those final years of his life. Because, boy, if there was ever a person who embraced life, it was Freddie Mercury. It was so sad to see it taken from him at such a young age. So, to me, if you want drama, you want a movie, that's all of it. His life, it is the perfect movie. But it looks like Brian May is going to have his way.
Yeah. He's the one who arranged for the financing of the movie. And I think all three of them are signing off on it. So yeah, that means you get your way.
Yes.
I brought the money.
Yeah.
I think either way it goes, I think it's still gonna do good. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are gonna support it. Some may be disappointed. Steve, you might be one of them too. But I think they'll still support it and it'll do good.
I'll go see it and I'll probably shed a tear.
Oh yeah.
So
shed tears. How do you shed tears in movies? Well, then again, that's real, though. That's real. I'm sorry. That is real. So,
oh my God, don't ever sit next to me in a movie theater.
But I'm saying, the whole...
Or a TV show, or even
movie?
Commercials. Because I've cried at all of them.
The Star Wars guy.
What are you talking?
Movie?
Oh my God! Don't give the spoiler. You can't do that.
I'm not giving no spoilers.
The Star Wars guy.
Oh man, it's old now.
Oh, are you talking about there was a scene in Star Wars that you thought would make me cry, or I shouldn't have cried?
I'm just gonna leave this one alone because I don't have my facts right.
Yeah, you don't bring Star Wars into the conversation unless you got your facts right, buddy.
Exactly. That's why I left this alone. I'm starting to sweat and stuff.
So you've never seen like the movie Brian Song?
No.
Or
I'm just not emotional, I guess, like that. I am, but I'm not. I wouldn't actually tear up. I got moves I can do if stuff like that happens. You know, I'll turn and I'll go like this. You know, I'll do stuff, so it's just what you gotta do. You can't just sit there. I'm ugly when I cry, so don't say yeah.
You ugly now.
Well, that's the show.
Walked right into that one.
I did.
On that note, have a great week.
The sound of.